Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Look at this quote for a second. The difference between a B and an A star in additional mathematics often comes down to how well you understand the conditions for two lines to be parallel or perpendicular. That's a direct, unedited quote from a Cambridge senior examiner. Think about the gravity of that. Earning those top marks isn't about being a flawless genius at every single obscure math concept. It's about mastering highly specific foundational conditions and knowing exactly how to weaponize them when the exam timer is ticking. To show you what I mean, I want you to imagine two typical students facing a brutal coordinate geometry past paper question. We'll call them Alex and Sam. Now, Alex overloads his paper with raw mathematics facts. He dumps every formula he knows onto the page, but there's absolutely zero analysis. It's a mess of numbers. Sam, on the other hand, just rushes. Sam completely misses the specific command word requirements of the question and solves for the wrong thing entirely. When the examiner's red pen comes out, they both lose massive marks. Today, we are going to fix exactly what went wrong for Alex and Sam.
Welcome to this comprehensive explainer on Cambridge Mathematics exam strategy. While our primary focus is unpacking the nuances of syllabus code 0606 Additional Mathematics, the strategies we're about to reveal are universally critical whether you're sitting for 0580, 4024, 4037, or 4040. Today, we're doing something a little different. We are getting right inside the examiner's head. We'll decode the exact strategies needed to master parallel and perpendicular lines, and honestly, to master the entire paper. If you've ever felt like you completely understood the algebraic formulas in class, but somehow still missed out on full marks on the actual exam, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get started.
Here is our strategic roadmap for today's session. First, we'll cover the theoretical foundations. Second, the technical methodology. Third, critical examiner warnings. And finally, number 4, the final exam strategy.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Theoretical Foundations. When we talk about theoretical foundations, we absolutely have to shift our focus away from just blindly memorizing simple equations. Parallel and perpendicular conditions dictate the mathematical relationships and precise terminology required to prove lines either never intersect or intersect at exactly 90 degrees. But here is our first major examiner alert. Candidates consistently confuse key terminology. Never, ever assume the examiner knows what you mean. You have to define your terms clearly before you build your proof. This brings us to the first rule of our mathematics success blueprint, command word decoding. Remember our student Sam who rushed the question? Sam failed because he didn't decode the command word. If the question says, show that the lines are perpendicular, you cannot just state that they are. You have to prove the mathematical relationship from scratch. The syllabus heavily emphasizes that top-performing students don't just regurgitate basic facts. They demonstrate a beautifully connected understanding that transfers seamlessly to totally unfamiliar contexts. You need to hit 3 distinct cognitive domains here: basic knowledge, application to new problems, and deep conceptual analysis. It's all about bridging the gap between abstract algebra and concrete geometry. And the best way to do this is by utilizing the PEEL framework. Point, evidence, explanation, link. Yes, PEEL isn't just for English essays, it is devastatingly effective for math proofs. You state your point, provide your mathematical evidence, explain the geometric theory behind it, and link it back to the specific question asked. Before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now.
Moving right along, let's jump into Section 2, Technical Methodology.
A senior examiner recently posed a really fascinating question. Why do students find interpreting complex text and data so hard? Honestly, it happens to everyone. You look at a complex coordinate geometry problem. You see a massive, messy cluster of points, lines, variables, and equations, and suddenly your mind just goes totally blank. The real culprit here? A lack of a standardized step-by-step approach. This is where the transformation happens. Think back to Alex, who overloaded his paper with scattered formulas. If we sit down with Alex and apply a structured framework, those harsh red pen marks instantly start transforming into green check marks. By following a clear methodology, we take the panic out of the equation and replace it with a highly repeatable mathematics success blueprint. Let's look at exactly what that blueprint entails. To completely cure that exam day overwhelm, you need what I like to call a visual story method, a highly reliable 5-step sequence. Step 1, you start by identifying and extracting key elements from the messy text. Just pull out the coordinates and gradients. Step 2, apply the relevant geometric principles. Step 3, execute the analysis with crystal clear working out. Step 4, verify your results. Does this actually make sense? And Step 5, present your findings in the correct format.
It literally turns a nightmare, highly worded paragraph into a predictable, highly solvable puzzle. And this perfectly illustrates the method mark strategy. Look, marks are heavily awarded for the process, the systematic analysis, and clear working, not just the final answer. Cambridge examiners are actively hunting for evidence-based reasoning. If you try to do all the heavy lifting in your head and just drop a magic number at the bottom of the page, you are leaving massive, easy points on the table. Your step-by-step working out is just as important, if not more important, than your final coordinate or equation. Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2 to 3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to acetheexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions.
Now let's get into the really juicy stuff in Section 3, Critical Examiner Warnings. Pulled straight from the principal examiner reports, here are the top 3 mistakes that are costing students easy marks across the globe. Number 1, confusing cause and effect. Number 2, forgetting to check format and presentation. And number 3, providing generic answers not specific to the given context. Notice something absolutely crucial here. Not a single one of these warnings is about lacking basic math knowledge. They are entirely about a breakdown in logic, strategy, and formatting. It's time for a quick interactive workshop. I call this Challenge 1, the data scan. Imagine a complex math chart on your exam paper. You have 60 seconds to extract the core trend. Most students just stare at the whole thing. The elite students, they immediately scan the axes, spot the command words, and apply the PEL framework. Next time you do a past paper, set a 60-second visual countdown timer and force yourself to just identify the core variables before you write a single number. Let's drill deeply into that first major warning, confusing cause and effect. This leads us to Challenge 2, find the flaw. Think of the cause as the established geometric condition. For instance, the question tells you for a fact that 2 lines are perpendicular. The effect is the resulting mathematical proof, meaning you now know their gradients must multiply to -1. You must keep these 2 concepts entirely separated in your mind. If your logic runs backward, or if you assume the effect before proving the cause, your entire paragraph loses its method marks. Which brings up Challenge 3, speed writing. You need to be able to write one perfect, logically sound PEL paragraph in under 30 seconds. Point, the lines are perpendicular. Evidence, m1 times m2 equals -1. Explanation, inserting the known gradient allows us to solve for the unknown. Link. Therefore, the equation of the line is y equals mx plus c. Boom. Full marks. Finally, let's pull all of this into Section 4, Final Exam Strategy. So how do top-scoring candidates tie all this together on exam day? They use the ultimate problem-solving framework: deconstruct, solve, and evaluate. First, deconstruct the problem into logical steps. This ties directly into our rule of command word decoding. Second, solve by systematically applying your geometric principles using the PEL framework. And finally, evaluate. This introduces our third major rule, the time management matrix. Evaluating forces you to quickly check your work for reasonableness and justify it within the time limit. If a coordinate for a triangle looks wildly off the grid, your evaluation step catches it before the examiner does. It is your ultimate safety net. Listen, evaluative thinking is exactly what separates the best from the rest. You cannot just be a passive human calculator. You must actively question your own assumptions and justify every single mathematical decision with hard evidence. When you are writing out your proof, use comparative connectives to highlight the similarities and differences in your gradients or coordinates. Tell the examiner exactly why you are doing what you are doing. You aren't just crunching numbers. You are building a watertight, undeniable logical argument. Before you finally put your pen down, remember that practical mathematical application requires professional execution. Your annotations, headings, terminology, and format must strictly follow conventions. Your exam paper should read like a beautifully clear, professionally formatted report. We've built the complete mathematics answering system today. Rule 1, command word decoding. Rule 2, PEL framework application. Rule 3, the time management matrix. If the examiner has to squint and guess what your scattered scribbles mean, they simply won't give you the benefit of the doubt. Students who implement these mathematics strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly videos. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams IGCS to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to @Ace the Exams IGCS and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. So I leave you with this final provocative challenge. Are you just going to memorize formulas like Alex? Or rush blindly like Sam? Or are you going to actively argue with the math?
How will you specifically use the deconstruct, solve, evaluate method to guarantee your method marks on your very next past paper? Drop a comment below with your target grade for mathematics and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the exams, your Cambridge success starts here. Do not just close this explainer and move on. Find a challenging coordinate geometry question right now, apply the blueprint, and prove to yourself that you can think exactly like the